What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs within the next week, which is basically the end of the month, the end of the year actually, sorry. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, the possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did a few months back is a collector's rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Never thought it would be this gorgeous, but it is, you guys. It truly is. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never really came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which actually in a way it kind of ties with today's video, which is this: do you guys believe that the Lightsworn deck has a chance to become a meta deck once again after all these years? Let me know down in the comments below, because for today's video we have some new Lightsworn support in Legacy of Destruction. And honestly, looking at this first card, I can easily tell that Lightsworns could very may well make their way back into the meta. And if you guys are curious about the archetype was first introduced, I think, was in Light of Destruction all the way back in 2008. So think about that, you guys. Almost 20, damn near 20 years old that the archetype has been around. And over the years, yeah, it's true that it was able to combat against decks like Teledad and Blackwing and the like, but over time we started to slowly get more and more support. And once we got, I think, what was it, the Lightsworn cards, which were basically like new Lightsworn support, we basically got ourselves Lightsworn Zombie, which was one of the most influential decks in the format, because it gave players more versatile chances to make a board that essentially has infinite negates. And at that point, it's like it's like if you are your opponent and you see a board, you know, a Lightsworn board with infinite negates, it's like, what the fuck do I do? What do I do? Do I scoop? Do I try and play around cards? That's basically Lightsworn for you. But with that being said, guys, I'm not gonna waste any time. There are 5 cards to talk about in this video, and let's get straight into it. Kicking things off, we got Dragon of Lightsworn, which is a excuse me, which is a 4-star light dragon with 1500 attack, 1300 defense, and all three of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect says if you have a Lightsworn monster in your grave, you can special summon this card from your hand. Excuse me. The second effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can send 1 Lightsworn card from your deck to the grave, except this card. Third effect says, if this card is sent to the grave, you can add 1 dragon with 3000 or attack and 2600 defense from your deck to your hand. So, funny enough, this is essentially your combo extender. So, not only do you have a Cyber Dragon effect, you also have a Foolish Burial and a Rhoda, all rolled into one singular 4-star dragon, which is absolutely insane. Crazy thing though is that if you use if you normal summon Raiden and you use its effect to mill, and one of those mills is actually 2 of those mills are Wolf, and we'll say a Lila. Let's say that. Lila's effect, not Lila. Wolf. Wolf's effect would trigger, and it would get summoned to your board. And then obviously Dragon of Lightsworn you would be able to special summon it from your hand, mill a second Wolf to your graveyard. Wolf's effect would trigger, you would be able to summon Wolf again from your grave, which Wolf, being as the fact that it was printed during the GX era, not a once per turn, and you basically have yourself two rank 4 Xyz monsters, or a rank 4 Xyz plus a level 8 synchro. In which case, if you use this card to synchro summon, you would be able to add Judgment Dragon to your hand, special summon Judgment Dragon, and that's your board right there. Not only would you have a board wipe in the form of Judgment Dragon, but depending on what synchro monster and what Xyz monster you summoned, you could potentially have Time Thief Redrawer, which basically sets you up for Zeus, which is absolutely insane. You could even also have as well, just as a random example, I'll say Thought Ruler Archfiend as another negate, if you will, which is pretty crazy. Or instead of having Thought Ruler Archfiend, you could also have something like Cypher Lord Omega, which is another pretty cool one that they can use to rip cards out of your opponent's hand every single turn, and it would force your opponent to try and outmaneuver the board, and if they can't outmaneuver the board, they're pretty much just screwed. So this is a really good combo extender, probably one of the best combo extenders I've seen for the archetype in quite some time. But next up, we've got Weiss Lightsworn Archfiend, which is a 4-star Light Fiend tuner with 0 attack, 1700 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, reads, you can place one of the Lightsworn card from your hand on top of the deck, special summon this card from your hand, and send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave. Second effect reads, if this card is sent from the deck to the grave, you can target one Lightsworn monster in your grave, except this card, special summon it. So crazy enough, this is yet another one of those like combo extenders where if you're going second and you hard drew Wolf, you can send Wolf from your hand back on top of the deck, special summon this card from your hand, and you not only would you be able to mill Wolf to your graveyard, but Wolf's effect would trigger. You get to summon it to your board. Boom, and you instantly have either a synchro, a level 8 synchro, or a rank 4 exceeds, depending on what you want to summon. Or for all we know, you could have yourself a Link monster. For all we know, so this is another really good like combo extender that honestly I did not expect. I did not expect Konami to want to make Lightsworn the most powerful deck in existence. These 2 cards right here are excellent extenders, and they can help you go into your board that can make a pretty decent amount of negate. But it all depends on how you build Lightsworn. So I'm gonna have to try these out once the cards are fully released. But that's a really good one. And for those who are curious, the term Weiss is German for white. For those who didn't realize it. And shoutouts to Weiss. Actually, the word is actually from the show Ruby. Shoutouts to them. Yeah, for some reason Rooster Teeth ain't doing any more Ruby bullshit. So yeah, I think we desperately need Volume 10. I think honestly Volume 10 would probably have to be the last volume, because it just takes up too much money, which I totally get. But one more volume, I think we'll be okay. But shoutouts to the Team Ruby gang. If you guys have not seen Ruby, I recommend you guys watch it. It is incredible. An incredible anime. Absolutely awesome. Next up, we have Enlightenment Dragon, which is a 10-star Light Dragon fusion with 3,000 attack and defense. And get this, you guys. Get this. Ready? You ready? The materials are both Judgment and Punishment Dragon. Yeah. You heard me right. So if you want to play this card, you gotta have both cards, which is absolutely insane. And it says that it must be special summoned by banishing the above cards from your field and grave one from each. So I think the idea would probably have to be you having a Foolish Burial in your deck, activating Foolish Burial, pitching the Punishment Dragon, and then having Judgment Dragon in hand. You special summon it, boom, and you have this card on board. I think that's the move. I don't know, but it has 3 separate effects. The first one says once per turn as a quick effect, you can pay 2,000 life points and banish all other cards on the field and in the graveyards. This is basically one of the best extra deck monsters for this archetype I had seen in quite some time. And obviously you guys know when the Lightsworn archetype first came out, there was nothing. There was no fusions, no synchros, no exceeds at that time. And we didn't get Michael until the Lightsworn structure deck. That was back in 2010, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. So this is absolutely nuts because you're literally banishing everything from both sides of the field, and not just your graveyard, but your opponent's as well. And the crazy thing is that if you don't want to banish all cards that you have in your graveyard, you need to have no cards in your graveyard to pull this off. The only other card that you could potentially have is what, maybe Judgment Dragon, not Judgment, like Punishment Dragon. But the only downside is that with Judgment Dragon, you need to have you need to have literally three Lightsworn monsters in your graveyard. So you would have to have fucking Pot of Avarice to ensure that you don't banish any other cards from your graveyard, other than like maybe a couple of spells or something. But still pretty nasty, because this with an effect like that, it forces your opponent to try to literally activate a card like Imperm, a card like Effect Veiler. It literally forces out your opponent's negates, which ironically enough would then set you up for the next two for the other two effects of this card. The second effect reads: once per turn during the end phase, send the top 4 cards of your deck to the grave. Third effect says, if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can add 1 each of your banished Judgment and Punishment Dragons to your hand. Then you can special summon both, ignoring their summoning condition. So in a way, with this third effect, it's sort of like a defusion, if you will, but even better. But a little bit better, but a bit too conditional in my personal opinion. Next up, we've got Minerva Lightsworn Athena, which is an 8-star Light Fairy Synchro with 2,800 attack, 1,800 defense, and requires a tuner and 1 or more non-tuners. And the first and third effects are both once per turn. The first effect reads: if this card is synchro summoned, you can send Lightsworn monsters with different types from your deck to your grave, up to the number of Lightsworn monsters used as material for this card's summon. So ironically enough, so if you have, let's say, two level 3 non-tuners and a 2-star tuner, that right there, you're literally foolishing 3 Lightsworns with different types to your graveyard, which could be Wolf, Felice, and let's say let's say Raiden. You would have not only Wolf and Felice to your board, but if you tune them together for a synchro summon, boom, you instantly have yourself another 8-star synchro, which is absolutely incredible. Absolutely insane. Second effect reads: Lightsworn monsters you control cannot be banished by card effects. So you literally would need to have this card plus Enlightenment Dragon, and your whole board would literally be protected. So if you activate Enlightenment Dragon's effect, this card, Minerva's effect, would basically protect all the cards on your board, all the monsters on your board, from being banished. So it literally just ensures that you have game on board. But it all depends on exactly what you have on board, to be exact. The third effect says you can banish up to 4 Lightsworn monsters from your grave. Send that many cards from the top of your deck to the grave. So, crazy enough, that's pretty cracked. Even I have to admit that's pretty cracked, because it's a 4 for 4. So again, you're able to gain even more value just by using this card's third effect, because you can go into your link plays, more of your synchro plays and whatnot. And the end board would be what? Enlightenment Dragon, this card, Baron plus Underworld Goddess and Appaloosa for 4. That's a pretty nasty board right there. And if you were to add fucking Axis Code Talker, holy shit, you have yourself a pretty nasty board right there. A very nasty board. And your opponent would have no choice but to just scoop right then and there, which is pretty crazy. And now for the last card to talk about in this video, it is known as Lightsworn Aegis, which is a normal trap, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Lightsworn monsters you control, negate their effects until the end of this turn. Second effect reads, if this card is sent from the deck to the grave, you can set it. So funny enough, this is basically Dark Ruler no more, but for Lightsworns. Not much else to say about that. I will say this. I will say this. You look at the Lightsworn archetype and you think that it's a pretty decent deck. Funny enough, when Lightsworn Zombie, as I mentioned before, when Lightsworn Zombie was around, a number of years back, it dominated the meta. In fact, I believe it got quite a few tops at several YCSs back in the day. In fact, if I remember right, one of the YCSs, I think, what was it, right before Worlds, if I remember right, it got I think, what was it, top 8? I think one person got top 8 with Lightsworn Zombie, and then I think someone got top. I think someone made it to the final 4 of that same YCS, using the same Lightsworn Zombie deck. So I don't know. I don't remember. It's been quite a while, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. But with that being said, guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.